Hello and welcome to Ignorance is Myth. And we are going to be talking again today with the witch Blair.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll
And
be ignorant, you be mythological.
I can do that. I can do that. I think it's the other way around because you are the king of myth.
If
So
I am the king of myth, where is my royal hiding pot?
we need to get hiding pots. That's it. Note this up, write it off on taxes, and we'll get hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to take a look today at the Greek myth of Narcissus. Ooh, exciting.
Which is obviously where we get the word narcissist from.
Absolutely. A bit of self-obsessed. I'm sure we're all going to see some parallels with either ourselves or people we know in this story.
Babe, we have both worked the drag circuit. We know plenty of narcissists.
Yeah,
And I feel like the moment you get on stage in drag, you have to become a narcissist to get through your set.
absolutely. You have to. I fully believe that. I think if you're going to pass off that confidence, you have to just like give out that you need to radiate out that confidence. And I think in that moment you have to become a fully blown narcissist.
I am
You
one of the most insecure people on the face of the planet, but not a lot of people know that because I've learned to fake the type of indestructible ego that you need to be a performer. But also, I can in the same moment think I could beat God in a fight, but also think I'm garbage. It's like
yeah, how those can both exist is mad,
uh,
isn't
God complex and chronic insecurity all rolled into one.
it? There's going to be a name for it. There's got to be
Blair.
Blair. Yeah, of course. Everyone, I've been diagnosed with Blair.
It's contagious and it gives you a bit of an itch.
Oh my Swiftly on, we move into the story of Narcissus. Okay.
Yeah.
In a forest where even the gods tread softly, there lived a boy unlike any other. His name was Narcissus, and he was so beautiful that even nature seemed to pause when he passed.
Already hating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
I,
God, you're pretty. How bad for you?
it's really hard to feel sorry for him, isn't it?
Oh,
But
especially like if it doesn't come up in the myth, I've got some bits that I will add because he
ooh,
is a terrible person.
okay. Oh, I'm excited. Let's have a look. So flowers would lean in toward him. Streams ran slower. Birds forgot their songs. Now that's irritating to me. Like can you imagine just singing away, like, and then he walks past, and you're like, oh, forgotten the one thing that I know how to do.
Yeah, Celine Begone, one of our drag friends. Yeah,
Yeah,
she always forgets the word to her songs, and maybe it's because Narcissus comes to all her gigs.
I think that must be it. That must be it.
In her
We
defense, though, she's turned it into like an incredible focal point of her sets.
just forgetting things. I love
Yeah,
that. Why not? It's a beautiful art form. Men, men and women alike fell in love with him.
I
But
mean,
no,
yay for queer representation.
we love that, a bit of inclusivity. But Narcissus loved no one, or perhaps he couldn't. Ooh, he was kind but distant. Their hearts opened, his stayed shut.
There's a great parallel to this in like Irish myth
Mm.
that I don't think we'd have time to go into fully. So I'll mention it to you at another point, but because there's the story of the Gankana,
Oh, okay.
um, which we should do one on at some point because it's chef's kiss.
Can you give us it in one sentence?
Gankana, known also as like the heartless love. Stories vary on whether this is just the way they are or they were cursed. They're of the she, the
Oh,
fair folk, and they're constantly like hooking up with folks,
love
but
that.
they can't feel love.
Hmm.
So like other people love them, but they cannot feel that happening. So they have a tryst, they leave, and the people they've been with long for them so badly they pine away and die.
Gosh, wow.
They love him so strongly that his absence kills them, but he can't feel that, so he can't trust in it, so moves on.
Wow, that's terribly sad. And it does sound a lot like our Narcissus here. I agree. Yeah, we'll have to have a look into that one. Maybe we'll do that in the future for sure. So you must learn to know yourself, said the blind seer Tiresias. Yes. When asked about the boy's fate, it sounded like wisdom, but it was also a warning. Okay, you must learn to know yourself. This is well, I mean, this is a very obvious teaching, isn't it?
Yep.
See. One day while hunting in the woods, Narcissus came upon a still pool, a hidden spring untouched by wind or leaf. As he bent down to drink, he saw a face in the water. Ooh, it startled him, so radiant, so perfect. Lips like curved marble, eyes full of light. He reached for it. The face vanished.
Talk about pretty but dumb.
I know, right? Like, it's the first time he's looked at water. Really?
Yeah,
Like,
apparently he's managed to make it into what, at least young adulthood without ever looking in a reflective surface.
fool. Yes, so he waited until it returned. He smiled, it smiled back, and something in him shifted. It is pretty
Dumb as a box of hair.
pretty fades. Dumb as forever. Oh God. Okay, so yes, something in him shifted. He had never loved before, not truly. But this was love. His chest ached with it. His hands trembled. Day after day, he returned to the water, longing to be near that face. But no matter how he tried, he could never touch it, never kiss it, never speak to it, and hear more than his own echo. Echo, echo.
Echo.
We
Oh, we're terrible.
are awful, yeah. Nearby, nearby, hidden among the trees, watched another Echo, the nymph, cursed only to repeat the words of others. She had once loved Narcissus, had tried to speak to him, but her voice could never form its own thoughts, only mimic his. I mean, sad, isn't it?
Sounds a bit like catfishing as well.
A little bit. A
Also,
little.
isn't that just every first conversation or dating app? Hey, you okay? Yeah, you? Yeah. What you been up to? Not much. You? Not much.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's like Tinder 101.
Yeah.
When he had rejected her, she fled. Now she withered in shadow. Her form,
Girly, he's not worth it.
he's not. He's dumb as a rock. Her form fading until only her voice remained. A voice doomed to echo back the desires of those who never listened. And I love that that's where Echo came from. I really love that.
Yeah, it's also kind of like a sort of a sad indictment of the way women have been treated throughout history.
Yeah, that is really sad.
Yeah, it was, throughout history, it's been be seen and not heard. And then, this poor nymph is reduced to only being a voice. And even then, she's not listened to.
Yeah, and not listen to, and also not even her own voice.
It can only repeat what other people have said. And again, it's that thing of like, do what you're told,
Mm,
agree with the party line.
absolutely.
But also, again, toxic relationships, falling in love with someone so hard that who you were is gone, and now all you do is repeat them,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
them up.
that's it. And how you can fall into that spiral of yeah, when you give up yourself in order
One of
to.
my friends was in a terribly abusive relationship, and the thing that horrified me the most is whenever his girlfriend was around, I didn't recognize him. He became her,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it
it
happens.
yeah.
Really does. But
Read the
back,
next bit, and we'll try and say
yeah,
something funny next, because that
yes,
was kind of grim.
yeah. Okay, back at the pool, Narcissus began to weaken. Hunger gnawed at him because there was no all-inclusive bar. Thirst burned in his throat. Again,
He's right next to a crystal clear lake. He could drink.
he could. You're
Dumb as a brick.
he would not leave. He could not leave. He was consumed by the image in the water, the reflection that gave him everything but love in return. At last he whispered, "I love you." The voice in the water said it back. And yet he died slowly, gently, gazing upon the face he could never reach. Where he fell, a flower bloomed, delicate, pale, leaning always towards its own reflection in the water, the Narcissus.
Yeah. So many pretty boys die and get flowers named after them. Hyacinth.
Hyacinth, yeah, literally, there's a theme, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, something that isn't mentioned in this, there's because obviously we've got Echo here, who loved him and withered away, but there's I can't remember his name, but like this guy who's in love with Narcissus
Hmm.
tells Narcissus he loves him, and if he can't have him, he'll have to kill himself. And Narcissus basically just goes, "Okay, then bye," and the guy kills himself.
Oh my God.
And if that's not Twink Song Grinder these days, I don't know what is. Like, goodbye.
Literally. Oh my God, I wouldn't know. But that is so funny. I mean, it's obvious this is where the word narcissist come from, right? So we know
Yeah,
that
the
that is
one
clear.
about self-obsession.
And we do live in a world of social media, and I think that lake is now our Instagrams, our
Yeah,
TikToks.
and it's not. It's weird because like no one is like Narcissus. Well, some people are Narcissus that are like posting themselves because
Mm,
they want other people to confirm what they think that they're beautiful.
mhm,
But for so many of us, we're Echo. We're looking at these people with longing, trying to get their attention and can't get it, and that's just
mm,
as unhealthy. Like Narcissus and Echo are both being unhealthy here. Narcissus is obsessed with himself, and Echo is obsessed and seeking validation from someone who doesn't even notice they exist. It's like
mm.
one of my biggest bugbears now is people who know their favorite pop star's birthday and star sign and everything about them, but couldn't tell you their best friend. They would call them birthday.
Yeah,
It's like, or wouldn't know, like if you know what your favorite pop singer would order from a takeaway, but wouldn't feel confident ordering a drink for your mate in the restaurant if they nip to the loo when they come to the drinks order, you're a bad friend. Why do
yeah,
you know so much about these people who do not know you exist? And yeah, some of these pop stars, some of these famous people, they do so much good in the world. Like I get people's obsession with like Lady Gaga, she
mm,
and like Dolly Parton, who actually like Dolly Parton spends millions on buying kids for books. Lady Gaga stands by the queer community. I still don't know either Dolly Parton or Lady Gaga's birthday. All I know is I love their music and I like what they stand for.
yeah, yeah,
But I know people who know more about people like that than they do about the people in their lives. And that, I think, is the echo side of this toxicity, is obsessing over someone who I would say deserves some of your attention,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
they go so deep into it. But then we see people go into people who are just red flag factories with that level, like Echo has. She's
yeah.
completely devoted herself to someone who is a walking red flag. They're a self-obsessed narcissist. They don't care about her.
Mm,
Um, they don't even register that she exists.
mm,
And she just keeps repeating back what they say.
mhm.
And again, it's like people who will just like quote their favorite celebrities, or quote the people they idolize,
Yeah,
without maybe thinking about it first.
absolutely. And I think it's different with social media because when you repeat something that somebody else has posted, you retweet or whatever it is you do now,
Yeah.
re-X or whatever. I'm not going to call it X. That's silly. When
Oh, I
when
don't even have an account on there anymore. Fuck off.
literally, yeah. But like when you do that, I find that it's often for your own image, and I think we do have, I think there is a mixture of both of these people. I think we do have the people that are obsessing over someone who never knows they exist, but also I think we do have the people that retweet ideas and repost ideas for their own image because they are trying to build a brand. When you think about kids now who grew up on, like, we were of a generation where we didn't have social media. It came in whilst we were still young, but we remember a time before it. These kids who don't remember a time before it, their entire life has been about building a brand.
Yeah. But also with people who have been in social media from the get-go, I mentioned it in one of the other videos, you don't have to learn to deal with the people who are physically in your life. You can literally find an echo chamber where people will just repeat back the same things that you're saying, and you all agree with each other, and you don't learn how to deal with confrontation in a mature way. Because that's the word confrontation, people always think, oh, it's going to be aggressive. No, conflict is any two opposing forces meeting.
Yeah.
And conflict, you can have healthy grown-up adult debate, and no one might change their mind, but people might come in with at least knowing someone else's viewpoint. And we see it now, like people being afraid of public speaking, or of actually standing up in front of people and talking, laying themselves bare because they can't. It's more than just their voice now. All of them is there. You can be echo on the internet. You can just be a voice, and you can protect the rest of yourself.
Even through anonymity, like how her form faded and she just became the voice. You can even do that on there. They've literally created, you're right, an echo chamber that is digital for people like Narcissus to feed on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The narcissists aren't always narcissists because they're hot.
No.
Elon Musk has spent billions on his face, and he's gone from being a 2 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10. He still looks like a foot. But his narcissism is about him. It's not about his physical form. It's about him. He thinks he is the best thing ever. And, he bought a whole social media platform to try and create an echo chamber to agree with him.
Yeah. He
and throws a hissy fit every time someone says, hey, hang on, mate.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving these videos and memes and the pictures now. Like, oh, bet Elon loves this, and it's the rainbow Cybertrucks and stuff like that. Love it. They're trolling on his own platform. No, that's exactly it. And they do create these sort of echo chambers for themselves. And I think it's equally as dangerous to be that in love with someone else and yourself, as we see through both of them.
But also, again, the sort of the focus on appearance. Because obviously there have been so many conversations over the past few decades of the unreasonable beauty standards for women, and we're finally starting to have those conversations about men as well. Because I've mentioned before, I've got body dysmorphia. I've never liked the way my body or my face or any part of me looks, and it's because when I look out into the wide world of social media, I don't see someone who looks like me. I always see guys with big muscles. Or guys who are so skinny they have a six-pack as a result. And then the second I try and post a picture of myself, I get told I'm skinny fat. Again, like we've said before, there's always people waiting to peck at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't have the confidence of a narcissist, it's actually very damaging to put anything about yourself out on social media, because you don't have that complete self-obsession to block all that out. But again, we put so much focus on the physical in our society and how beautiful you look. But then we're also now we're in a world that attacks experts for talking about what they know about and saying, well, you don't know anything. So it's like we're increasing the value of the outward and actively trying to decrease the value of what's going on in the mind and in the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the external, and it's that inner
even down to the point of hating people based on the color of their skin.
Right. It comes down to those things. Like, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure anyone who's listening to this on this platform is going to be someone who's on this platform because they believe that there is an inner journey to be done, that real value belongs on the inside, and that's the work that we have to do. But myself included, I get caught up in it. I get caught up. There's days
we all do.
I look at
You can't
myself and
escape it. It's everywhere.
exactly. You look at yourself and you think, "Oh God, I've let myself go. I look terrible. I need to," and you punish yourself for not
Yeah.
meeting the standards. And that is someone who does not have the confidence of a narcissist. And this comes back to, again, there is that lovely in between spot where if you can have enough, we all say, love yourself these days.
Yeah.
There is too much. And I think when love turns into obsession, and I think it was the
Yeah.
same for Echo and for Narcissus himself, when love turned into obsession, it became dangerous.
Yeah. It's that thing of nothing in excess, and excess of love is obsession.
Mm,
When you're focusing too much on one thing and not enough, we need more than one thing to survive and to be healthy.
yeah.
And the focus on the physical, I think, has become a major problem. And like the things that aren't getting enough attention are things like like self-care, self-love, or just education.
Yeah.
Because again, people who've grown up with social media, you don't need to worry about an education, because if you're pretty enough, you can have a career as an influencer. But sorry, excuse me. And when, like you said earlier, you quoted Bianca Del Rio, beauty fades, dumb is forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always going to be someone better, like I've said before, and there will be someone, maybe not now, but in a couple of years, younger, hotter.
Yeah.
And it's this focus on youth being the youth and beauty being the most interesting thing, and being the thing to desire and want. And like, I love it when I'm on, like, a dating app or a hookup app, and some like 22-year-old whose profile says no over 30, ew, gross, messages me, a 35-year-old, and I'm like, well, I don't fit your criteria here. And they go, oh, well, I don't think you look that old. I expect people who are 30 or older to be like gross and like going grey and blah, blah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no concept of reality. You know what they say, 30's dead in gay years. But then the absolute knock to their ego when I just say, sorry, I think you're too young for me.
Mm,
Because I don't care how like smooth and plucked and how shiny your hair is and how like, tight your body, whatever. I've got to an age, I think, and I don't even mean physically. I think I've been this age mentally for a lot longer. Like, I think by the time I got to 20, I was done with people who were at that point my age. And I
yeah.
don't know if it's because, again, body dysmorphia, always hated the way I looked. I've focused so hard on trying to be funny and engaging and interesting, that when I meet people who have managed to get by without needing any of that, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Um, but in the same sense, I've got a friend who, quite frankly, was born unfairly hot. But they and like that they had obviously the opposite problem to me. No one ever bothered trying to get to know the person underneath.
Yeah.
People
That's
only wanted them for how they looked. And like, there's the, oh, cry me a river, you were too hot. I'm like, no, actually, I would much rather be in my place where
mm,
I can post a selfie and have a load of people criticize me, than post a selfie and have people only talking about how I look and not being interested in who I am as a person. I'd rather take what I've got than what he's had to deal with.
it dehumanizes you
Yeah,
when
you
when
become objectified.
it become about how you look, how much money you have, or all these factors that aren't you as a person. They're external things. When they become the reason that people show you interest, it dehumanizes you, and that
Yeah,
comes with some struggle.
and I don't care how hot you are, you won't be that hot forever.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
like, but now you're seeing, like, especially like in the queer community, like I know like people who are in their early 20s who are already getting Botox and filler, and I'm like, guys, you are still young and fresh, but
Mm,
also that poison stays in your face forever, and you'll have to keep getting more to cover up the fact that you've had it before, because it will sink and it will stretch your face, it will weigh it down, and by the time you hit 40, you're gonna look like hell on toast. It's just like, oh, I want everything tight, I want my lips to be huge, I don't want my face to crease. I went through this horrifying phase about 6 years ago where whenever I was like out with friends, like, let's get a photo, I'd avoid being in it, or I wouldn't smile because my face would crease.
Aye.
And I'm like, no, that's what a normal human face does.
Yeah, they crease.
Because there is enough skin to cover my face. If I move my face and the skin moves up, it's going to bunch up. And
Mm,
again, like, oh, if I sit down, there's that one little roll that hangs over my trousers. Yeah, because that's enough mass to cover me stood up. It's going to compress. It's
absolutely.
because you only ever see photos of people that are sat down leaning back and thrusting to stretch that and flatten it out. And we don't see enough pictures of people looking like people.
Yeah.
And one thing I've always said, I always stand by, there is nothing hotter to me than someone who is absolutely stunning, who isn't afraid to pull a stupid face.
Oh, I love that. I love that. They're not scared to wear clothes that make them look like your grandmother. They're not
Yeah,
like
it's
they
like,
put it off because they have
yeah,
just confidence. It's
yeah, confident enough in your appearance
mm,
to look less than your best. And
yeah,
it's like, because if I, because I don't like the way I look in photos now, 9 times out of 10, if someone tries to photograph me, I'll just pull a stupid face.
yeah, yeah.
And then people will say, oh, you look so happy and confident. I'm like, I'm not. But the other option is me going,
Awkward smile. Yeah,
but the fact that I am willing to look silly in a photo makes people think I'm more confident than I am.
yeah.
Because I do think there is a thing of, if you try too hard to look good in a photo, you're leaving openings for people to pick you apart. Whereas if you don't take yourself seriously,
Mm,
and that's the lesson I had to learn, because like doing comedy on stage, the first thing I do when I get out there is take the mick out of myself to show everybody that if I start taking the mick out of audience members or other performers, I'm not trying to sound better than you. I'm trying to have a laugh with all of us.
absolutely.
And
Well,
I started applying that to my appearance of just going, hey, I like the way I look, and I don't mind if I look a bit stupid
mm, mm,
because I'm not about my appearance.
yeah, yeah.
And
I'm.
I found that I've also generated more, like, because it's all about sex. There's more sexual interest in me when I'm not worried about how I look,
Yeah,
because it's confidence that's sexy, not your appearance.
yeah. Completely, completely. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. I think confidence is, especially at the age we're at now, when you are 30 and up, like I think, or even younger, to be fair, I think you do sort of find the shallowness of like Narcissus, that there is no depth to him. And
I think
ah,
it's something a lot of people visit, but a lot of people manage to outgrow it. Some people get stuck there for longer. Some people never get out of it. But I think it's a phase we all go through,
mm,
especially now with, like we say, the social media. But I do think there is the darker side of that confidence thing of like, there is such a thing as unearned confidence.
oh God, yeah.
Like with appearance, it's pretty cut and dry. Like, people who look what we consider like, societally
Mm,
considered hot, they have that confidence. It's like, yeah, no, I get why you have that because most of the population thinks you're hot.
hmm
The worst thing for me is when people think they have far too much confidence about their knowledge.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because like, I've come here to natter about myths with you to share what I do know. I don't think I know everything.
No, no. I think the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Yeah, well, they say the first step to acquiring, is it the Buddhists say the first step to acquiring wisdom is admitting you don't know anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, and again, like people when they're challenged with stuff, like people would rather dig their heels in forever than
Mm,
admit. People don't. People think learning and then check something and then forming a new opinion because of new information means you've been wrong the whole time before. It's like, no, you made the best decision you could, form the
mhm,
best opinion you could with the information available to you. It's called growth. But people are so afraid of saying they've been wrong, again, because of their image.
mhm.
They want to be seen as someone who has never made a mistake. And like we talked about with the salmon of knowledge, it's like, well, no, growth comes from your mistakes. And
Yeah.
again, with the social media, people only publish the things that they're proud of. It's like
Mhm,
I've started doing a thing now, like I'll post occasionally on my social media when I'm having a bad mental health day. I'll like pop it on a story and be
mhm.
like, so if anyone's got any, cute pictures of animals, send them my way. And I don't I partially do that because then I get cute pictures of animals and they cheer me up, but partially because, I don't have a huge following. I've got maybe a couple of thousand followers. But if there's just one person who sees that and goes, oh God, other people go through this and it's okay to talk about it, that could help.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying I'm changing the world by doing it, like I say, but we need more people to talk about the difficult things, and not in a, oh, my life's terrible, it's so unfair, but like, I'm having
Mm,
a rough time today, because that happens to people. And if
mm.
anyone happens to have a picture of two cute kittens snuggled up together in a, please send it to me because it'll cheer me up.
That
And
would
again, having the strength to say, hey, I present myself most on my social media as I do when I'm performing in drag, as like, sarcastic, funny, confident, blah, blah, blah. But
mm,
there's a human being under all of that. And
yeah.
sometimes I have hard days, and I think we need more people to be willing to present that. And one thing I do like is when people who, social media thirst trappers will actually talk about their difficult experiences. I'm like, you attract so much attention because of how good you look.
Hmm.
Use that platform to help if you can. And I
Yeah.
do think we are seeing more and more of an increase with that, because even though I do think like Gen Z are maybe a bit too social media and maybe not enough real world, but that's my own personal bias. I
Hmm.
do think they are doing so much more good with social media than maybe our generation,
Yeah.
because they are so switched on with it. They can jump on things quicker. Um, and because that's their main source
Hmm.
of like communicating with the people they know and care about, and
Hmm.
they do see they build a community with the people they have on there and their followers, they are able to have these discussions more open and honestly online, because again, that's it's almost like their natural habitat. It's like
Yeah.
we were
Absolutely.
we were moved in there.
Yeah.
We merely adopted the dark, they were born of it. But it's so I am very impressed. Like when I scroll through my social media, I see these people who've got like tens of thousands of followers, and most of their posts are just them, like, you know, flashing their abs, or like, showing their legs, or just showing their gorgeous makeup. And then they'll post a story or a reel or something, and they'll just say, I've been dealing with this at the moment. And one, I'd like any advice. They don't go in and say, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Like, I'd like any advice everyone has on coping with it. This is what I found sometimes works, and they open a discourse about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think our generation with social media are much more, here it is, no further discussion needed.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's for the image.
And again, I think things can be a bit divisive, and you see millennials and Gen Z is going at hammer and tongs against each other. We've all got things we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
Just
I
because someone's older than you doesn't mean they know more or know better either.
absolutely not. You're right. Yeah, completely right with that. I totally
Like
agree.
I'd say most Gen Zers know how to put together a TikTok better than I do, or potentially ever will, without
Yeah.
a lot of lessons from them.
Yeah.
But there's probably some things I know how to handle better, like walking up to your boss and saying, "Hey, we need to have a chat," and it's not going to be an easy one.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Exactly.
saying that's true for everyone in each generation, but when the broad sort of like stroke stereotypes. Um,
Mm,
and again, I think we just need to stop pitting ourselves against each other. And
mm,
again, taking another thing about us is like just taking people at face value. People are complex, and there's more to them, to their how they may appear. And
hmm.
yeah, I know that so many stereotypes exist for a reason. It's because people in these groups, the ones who have come to the forefront, you may find a pattern amongst them.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, if you look at someone and form an opinion, if you have a conversation with them for 10 minutes, that opinion will change if you
Yeah.
allow it to.
Absolutely. Completely agree with that.
And they
Maybe.
always say, oh, there's no second chance at a first impression. No, but we shouldn't put so much weight on a first impression.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That's the truth. Wow. Yeah. We do, and we do make big importance on a first impression.
Like
And
my first impression of you when we met Queen Bee was, my first impression of you was, damn. I was like, they're hot. And imagine if I never moved past that and we never developed this friendship. Imagine if
exactly.
that's all I ever thought of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, like, I kept updating my opinion of you, because then you went on stage and performed your music, and I was like, wow, they created this song and this music themselves. They're an incredible singer. And then obviously we had some conversations about a terrible person who was also there, and that was just like, oh, good, they can't be asked with bitchy bullshit in the drag community. And then we
Yeah.
found that about the things we had in common and the things that we had different. And
Mm.
yeah,
I
it
feel
can be
for
so
that.
easy to be stuck on that first impression.
That's it. That's it. I think that is the bottom line, isn't it? When, by all means, take a first impression, but commit yourself to talk to them for 5 minutes.
Yeah, because again, like if I'd only stuck with that first impression and hadn't bothered getting to know you better, you know,
Mm.
back in those days, you were the catch-up girls of one night stands, you know, the one-hit wonder. We'd have slept together and you'd have never spoken to me again.
The ketchup.
Yeah, one song, I said, hey, never heard from again.
Classic. Classic. I love that.
That was that was you back in the day. And I'm not saying that with judgment.
No, of course, of course. Back in the day, you know, I was young, enjoying myself. We've
Yeah.
all been there.
And I was younger and rarely enjoy myself because it's depression. I'm kidding. I've been enjoying doing these with you, absolutely.
This has been magical. And yeah, I think to tie this one up perfectly, if Echo took 5 minutes to talk to Narcissus, I think she would have taken a different direction in her life.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she couldn't because she'd been cursed.
Aye, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But if you're in that situation and you think, oh my God, they're hot, I want to get to know them. If after 5 minutes they haven't shown any interest in who you are as a person, that's a red flag.
because also if we knew that Narcissus was capable of love and was someone who could give love to people, she would have found it in that first 5 minutes. So I'm not saying he's beautiful, so stay away. That is not what we're saying.
Oh.
We're saying give them the 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Don't.
you're beautiful and you're capable of love.
Oh, I thank you.
I will never say something nice about you on a recorded format again. That's your one.
I can't believe I have proof.
It'll be when you edit the video together and it just some reason cuts to static like the Ring.
Yeah. Just go up in my laptop will go up in smoke and it'll be done. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, it's almost like nothing in excess. Like, don't put so much of yourself into one aspect, whether it's your own appearance or it's like an obsession with someone. Obsession is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it takes over the other things you need.
Absolutely. Yeah, it puts material and external needs in front of your general pyramid of needs, you know. Yeah, anything from your physical safety to your self-actualization at the top.
Shout out to Maslow for his hierarchy of needs.
Hey, Maslow, my boy. God love him. Oh, thank you so much for joining me again, Blair. It's
Thank you for having me.
Magical, and there will be more to come. And
yeah, we'll definitely have to do the Gunkana at some point. So yeah, I love when different cultures have myths with similar themes.
Yeah. Oh gosh, absolutely. Me too. That crossover is my sweet spot. Love it.
Noted.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and listening or watching, and we will catch you again soon. Don't forget to follow the Witch Blair on Instagram, _witch_Blair, and we will see you very, very soon. Adios.
Bye.
Stop recording you.